Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. Something way different than usual. We're usually doing car stuff, but today I'm working on the house a bit. You can see up here. And I found a little surprise while I was ripping stuff out. So without further ado, I'll flip you around, show you what I was doing and what the issue is. Alright, so we're in the garage. You can see the big mess that I've made. You can see the water around here because basically upstairs we had a leak. And if you're wondering, I live on a hill, so yes, I do pull in the garage over here, but technically this side of the house is underground, and the second floor we walk right out into the backyard. So all behind the concrete here is earth, basically underground. So what happened is the fridge upstairs, we have one of the fridges where you put your cup in, you can make ice, get water, all that. The hose that feeds the water to the fridge decided to get a crack in it somehow, and it started to leak. So it ran down because the fridge is pretty much straight up from here. It was running down. You can kind of see the mark there. Down the wall. I used to have a mat here. That's why it kind of looks perfectly rectangular. And it just soaked all the drywall that used to be up there, a little bit of insulation. And we didn't really notice because it's a dark carpet there. But it made a big puddle here. So I was like, well, what did we spill? Started looking and then you could see it. So I ended up ripping it all down and I pulled the insulation out, and what I found under here is this big ass bee's nest. Now we are in the middle of summer, or coming up to the end of summer now, but I figure if there's anything in there I should hear it, I would think. But for the hell of it, I'm gonna go and try to poke her down. So I'm either gonna have to haul some bud out of here, or it'll just turn to powder and come down. But it's pretty big, like that's my hand. It's at least the width of my hand. Looks like a volleyball size. Was not really expecting that to be up there. But yeah, basically my fridge is here, so this is the vent. We have a little fan in here to get the fumes and stuff out. When you open the garage door, it kicks on. And then that just goes down and vents outside into the backyard. So I'm thinking they probably got in through the vent from the outside, and then just because the fridge is right above here, the ground or the floor is probably really warm. So they would have built their nest there and then just kept going. But I don't ever recall having a stupid amount of bees or anything outside, so I'm hoping that it's empty. I don't hear anything. But basically what I'm gonna do is get my little bar and I'm gonna try to knock it off of there, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so my weapon of choice, my handy little bar here. I use it for everything. You can tell it's beat to crap. But pretty much I'm just gonna give her a couple little love taps, see if anything happens. If it does, you'll just see me run hauling ass over to the door there, and I'll deal with it when they calm down, or we'll see what happens. But let's just get up here and we'll give her a little tap. Pretty solid. It's like hitting a wall. I'm gonna say it's nobody home. So, zoom in here. Maybe you guys can see. You can see the old honeycombs in there. It looks pretty old. It's all dried up. So I will work on getting her out, see if I can get it out in almost one piece. We'll see what it looks like when it's down. Alright, so I got most of it out. You can see before I scrape it right down, they kind of started building in that corner. It's really stuck to the bottom there, and then they just work their way up. And then that is where it was stuck on top. And if you look, what I mean here and a little bit over there, it looks wet. That's what I mean by the floor's leaking, which tells me the fridge is right above here somewhere. The water line, I'm thinking, is right on the other side of that 2x4 or whatever it is here. But she's out and I lived, so that's all good. And then if you come downstairs here, move the ladder out of the way, you can see this was how thick it was on the outside. All the, like, paper or whatever, I'm not sure what it's called, but that was the shell. Pretty fancy. You can see little holes here and there for their entry and exits, I'm guessing. But this all fell apart when I was pulling it apart, but that just gives you an idea of how big this thing was when I opened it up. Turn the light off so it's not blinding you guys. But yeah, that is what was inside. And then we got a couple little honeycombs here that broke off, but I saved the big part. This is what was on the inside. You can see it's got the little legs and everything for the most part. If you've ever wondered what the inside of a bee's nest or wasp nest, whatever it was, looks like. And that's what I mean. When the cover was on the outside, it was like a volleyball at least, maybe a little bigger. You can see all the different little legs and layers in there. It came out in a few pieces, so I can't open it up just to show you guys. You can see a bunch of honeycombs, nothing in them. Some of them look like they got dried up, like in here, little, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I'll turn the light back on. There you go. Dried up something. Don't know if it's little dead bees or remnants of honey maybe. You can definitely smell it. If you take a whiff, it smells like honey. But it's pretty cool. I'm just glad there was nothing left in there when I started poking around. So, we lived. If you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe. Like I said, it's a little bit different than my regular videos, but anybody who subscribes is really helping out the channel, so hopefully we don't have to deal with something like this again. But for future, if you hear no buzzing, most likely nobody's home.